Hello folks, Sam Owens here. Got another product. This is a VEVOR inline duct fan, 4-inch, and it's great for cooling booster, exhaust fan, clearing out the hot air in your attic to an exhaust vent. Lots of different uses. And I'm going to show it being used in my garage to pull out the hot air from the ceiling of my garage so it's not so hot. So we'll see a demonstration toward the end for that. Right here we've got the fan itself, and right here tells you which direction the air is going to flow. This says air flow and is showing arrow. So it's going out that way, sucking in from this end. Now you can mount this a number of different ways. You can screw it down to a wall or rafters or ceiling, whatever, or you can suspend it with straps and hang it and cut into an existing duct and clamp it in and put it in the middle of a duct that's already available to give it more airflow. So lots of uses. You pick the one that fits you. So it's 110, and right here it comes with a cord. It's got a 3-pin cord, and you got a controller here. The controller is able to control 2 fans, so you could get 2 of these fans and you could connect them both on here, and the controller would control them. And also you get a sensor. So right here on the bottom are your inputs. This is the sensor. It's going to monitor the temperature of the air wherever you mount it. Now mine, I'm going to mount it up in the ceiling because that's where the hot air is in my garage, and most houses it rises to the ceiling. I want to pump that hot air out and bring in cooler air, and this is one way to do it. It's got a suction cup, but I've found that's not really workable on most places. So you need to either get a little cable tie or something that you can secure it to. Unless it's a piece of glass or smooth metal, it may work, but I would secure it. Okay, so that's the probe, and we'll see how I'm going to mount it later. Now, this is a 4-pin connector, so you'll see a difference here. It goes right into there. You also get 2 of these stainless steel hose clamp or duct clamps to put on either end if you wanted to use both ends. You don't have to. You can just connect one duct on one end, and that's the way I'm going to do it. And this can be up at the ceiling. So we'll see how it can be mounted. They give you 2, and they give you some hardware here to mount the unit. Okay, you didn't get any straps, so you would have to come up with some straps if you want to hang it. But any kind of straps will do that you can come up with. Okay, we're going to go through showing the installation of it first. And what you have is an option of, on the base is right here, 4 holes that you can mount this. Now, you see it's kind of hard. This is riveted in there, so you can't take this plate off, and you really can't get straight in there. But there is a way to do it, and they recommend taking these 2 screws loose, and the motor core will come off. These will come off, and then that will allow this to come out, and then you'll have access to screw straight down without the motor being in there. And you will need to do that if you want to clean the fans, and occasionally you're going to need to do that because the performance will go down as the blades get dust and dirt accumulation on it. So that's how you clean it. You have a user manual. It's going to go through the procedures. It's very well written. There's just a couple of areas I'm going to give you a little additional information to help you understand the controller. That's the only area I had a little trouble. Okay, now let me show you here what you can do. If you want to take a shortcut and you get some nice sharp drywall screws and you want to mount it, the base down, you can, with an extension, you can reach in there and go at an angle, right like that. And drywall screws will be very sharp and they will grab into just about any kind of wood. Now, I showed you how to basically do a quick mount of it, but before you do any mounting, it's a good idea to set this out on a table, a bench, something that you can hook it together and learn the controller, hook it up, make sure everything is working good, and also practice setting the controller. You could do all of that in the comfort of sitting here instead of up in the attic trying to mess with this, or up on a ladder somewhere. Get it all set up and then you can go and install it after you know that it all works, okay? Now, as soon as I plugged it in and the controller got power, it was set in a condition for this to run. Okay, right here is the mode button, and when I push the mode button number 1, you're going to see that right now it's on high temp. It's going to go to low temp, high humidity, low humidity, then it's going to alarm, high, low, for the different ranges, and it's going to on. And now the fan just turned on because it turns on regardless of temperature or humidity. And then we're going to go to off, and the fan will turn off. And then you're going to go to timer, and right there you can set the timer. There's no setting right now, but you go up and down with the arrows, and we'll set that later. There's 2 hours right there. If you want to take the timing off, you can. It'll run for the amount of time that you put there, so you could operate the fan with that mode. Then you go back down to the auto mode. This is probably where you want to go to, because it uses the sensor, temperature sensor, to control all of these. Now this is where I ran into a problem, and I'm going to head it off for you. Is each one of these modes, high temperature, low temperature, and the humidity both high and low, you can turn them off. So if you're trying to set the high temperature, you need to go and turn all of the others off, because if they're set too high or something, your fan is going to run when you're expecting it to be off with the high temperature setting that you're going to do. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. But let's go through the rest of the buttons that we've got. That's the mode. These are the up button to go up in the temperature or humidity. This is the down button to go down in the settings. And then this is the display button. It'll turn it off and then refresh it if it times out. Within 30 seconds, if you haven't done anything, it will time out. And I'll show you that you can set this up where it'll be there's 4 modes that you can show for the display. There's, let's see, then you have this temperature right here is your sensor. This is what the sensor is reading right now, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can change it to Celsius, and I'll show that later. Let's see. Then you have up here in the upper right hand corner, that is the humidity. It's 76 degrees humidity. And then you have the fan speed right here. It's 0 because it's off. And the only way you can set the fan speed from 1 to 10 is in the on position when it's in mode on, and we'll show that. Settings, this is the setting that we have to trigger this. When this temperature, the sensor gets above 76, the fan will come on. If you'll notice, nothing is blinking over here. Everything is stable. That means there are no conditions that are out of limit. If they're blinking, then something is out of limits, and the fan will probably be running if there's a blinking. Let's make it blink one time. I'd go down. Let's go down 2 degrees. See, it's blinking. In other words, I want it to be at 73 as a high temperature. Well, it's 75, so the fan's going to come on at speed number 6, 7, 8, 9. It's set at 9. I haven't reset it from the last time. Let's do that right now. Set the speed. And to set the speed, you go to the mode of on. That's the only place you can set it. Right there. Now there's where you go with the up and down. Now if I want to go down to say 5, let's say we don't need all of that speed and we want it rather quiet, I'll go to 4. After you've run it a while, that might do the job. And then you just keep on going. And now we're at high, we're at this place. High temperature is 73. Our temperature is of the sensor is 75, so this is out of limits. The cooling fan is going to try to come on so that it can bring this 75 down to 73, and then it will turn off. This will cause you a nightmare trying to set this up and wondering why the fan does not turn off. So what you want to do is when you get it, just go through the settings. Okay, when you get to the low temperature, push the up and down arrow till it says off. Right there. Then you go down one more, take that off. You don't want to have those interfering. And if you don't need those and you only want the high temperature like I'm going to do, this is the way I'm going to operate mine. That's the only thing that's is being set. Then you're going to take away a lot of complications. And now I'm going to, I've got my high temperature set already. So now we'll go around just quickly. Okay, it's set at 76. So as the day goes on, from 74, it's going to go on up, and when it hits 76, this fan will come on, and that's the way I want it to stay on until it comes back down to below 76, and it'll turn off. All right, and the way I set the high temperature, you would do this with each of the others, and the explanation on setting it up, the trigger mode high temperature, trigger mode low temperature, it's just exactly the same as what I did with the high. You use these to go up and down. Okay, now I'm going to show you connecting some duct. This is 4-inch dryer hose, will work just fine. And you just pop this right on once you get your clamp on there. And you just screw it down tight so that it gets a good seal and won't pull off. Okay, there, that's not going to pull off. And then you would run this wherever you're going to put it. I've got it hanging from 2 screws up on the top in the wall, and this is the air conditioning ductwork that's connected to a little panel that vents to the outside. So I'm taking the hot air from way up at the top of the ceiling, and it's coming in and being blown out. So it's always bringing new air into the ceiling. I have the sensor over there toward the top, so it's monitoring the temperature of the ceiling. And right now it's 74 degrees. Okay, it actually went up to 10, but that's all right. We know how to set it. I would go to, using the mode switch, go to on, and then I can set the speed of the fan and it will remember it. I disconnected so it lost that setting. Okay, we're all set, and I'm going to keep it at 74, and if it goes above, it'll just keep running, and we'll see how it does. Need to show you changing it from Fahrenheit to Celsius. You go to the off position, and that's where you'll do it. So I'm going to go to off. There's on, there's off. And what you do is press and hold these together. There. Just pushing them together, and it went to C. That's 24 Celsius. I like, you just push them together and it'll go back to Fahrenheit. And I want Fahrenheit. So that's how you do it, on, off. This is covered in the user manual, so everything is there. I'd advise you to read it. So, folks, I think you will benefit for something like this, and you may have a need for it to cool off that attic or that garage or someplace. Or if you got a grow area, growing plants, you can control the humidity and temperature in those areas. So there's a lot of uses for a fan like this, and now you know a little more about how to set it up. All right, I want to thank you very much for watching my video.